Hi, welcome to Metta Tarot. Today, as the impatient person I am going to ask, I'm not really that impatient, but in this situation I am going to ask who the next president of the United States will be. I know there's a lot going on, and I just want to cut to the chase because there potentially is so much drama between now and then. And in the line of succession here, I know it's Mike Pence who's next in line as the vice president. And after that, we have the Speaker of the House, who will be determined after the new Congress moves in on January the 3rd. So I want to get more clear about my question before I draw any cards. So literally and concretely, I would like to know who is going to be the next president. And I don't mean 2020, I mean once Trump moves out of office, which in one of my readings earlier I thought was going to be in spring. April, I think. So let's just see what the cards have to say. And they certainly have been coming out in clumps lately because so much is going on. All right. So here at the foundation is the Tower, which is a complete change, an enlightenment, an awakening, and a complete change of structures. So I think when Donald Trump leaves, it's going to be with a big bang, and there will be potentially chaos, and we may be seeing that people are really very interested in getting someone in there as quickly as possible, which would make sense that everybody would want someone to quickly take over the role of the President of the United States. So yeah, there's going to be a quick and sudden realignment there, and it's going to come out of this place. There's 2 8s again. In one of my readings earlier, there were 2 8s. You know, that shows change and journey and movement. These are not so much the changing, moving 8s. These are a little bit more solid. So the 8 of Swords, which shows chained to a position. So I think that might be Trump feeling like he has to stay, because if he leaves the presidency, if he resigns, then he can be indicted, and he knows those things are out there, and no matter how much comfort speak he's doing with his tweets and, you know, public denials and derogatory statements about the Mueller probe and you know, everything else that he doesn't like, you know, he can't shield himself. He attempts to shield himself, but he can't. And so he's been working on that defense and collaborating with his lawyers here in the 3 of Pentacles. And there's 2 Pentacles right next to each other, so there's been a real attempt to stay grounded in that position. And that's what we're moving away from. And there's the High Priestess at the top of the reading, which maybe we can see as universal global forces at this point, being the High Priestess with really much to be uncovered. And one of the interesting meanings of the High Priestess is law, that she understands the very deep theory of the law and its secrets. And so she's also, behind her, there are the pomegranates, and there are also these hidden scrolls. So on one hand, we can look at this card as secrets, but it's also scrolls of information that are waiting to be revealed. In the future, many, many things are going to come to light. It's the star. That might be Mike Pence's hopes that he will become the president. And I can look at that for a little bit more information in a moment. And there is the chariot on top of the tower. So the tower is like the engine, just completely catapulting the chariot into action. One of the meanings of the chariot is discernment. I am liking this line between the high priestess, who understands quite a lot of hidden law and has all of her scrolls around her, which might represent the Mueller investigation, and then the chariot, which is moving forward with great discernment, informed by this deep understanding of the law, moving forward, propelled by the great force of the tower. So things are going to come to light with the star that are really, those things are just going to break down the structure of that's been built up here, and that's Trump building up his structure with his verbalizations and his just in general looking like he's working there on being the president and collaborating with others. So let's see. I think I'm seeing the star as Mike Pence's hopefulness that he will become president. So let's look at that, because I did ask who will be the next president of the United States. And so I'm seeing that as Pence. Let's see. Oh, okay. There are a lot of major arcana cards in here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 cards, and 6 of them are major arcana cards. So we can look for a big wallop in spring when this all changes. And I am reading this as Mike Pence. And here with the Magician card, which can, in its best way, in the range of meanings, be as above, so below. Ways is just manipulation with no conscience and no ethic. And next to the Fool. So I'm reading this as he is foolishly hoping to be the next president of the United States. I want to get one more card here to really... the Fool card also indicates swiftness. The Fool is air, it's the 0, and it's 0 and 1. So that's the beginning of the major arcana cycle. I'm not sure that Mike Pence is actually going to make it to fruition in the cycle of becoming the president, the next president. So check out one more card. Well, that's the King of Pentacles. I think that and we're returning now to non-major arcana cards, and this is personal, so that is personally him. I didn't look up before this reading what his sign is. Is he a Capricorn? I'm not sure. Anyway, I think this is showing that he knew about Russian money. He knew about potentially maybe any number of things involved in the campaign. He's got his own lawyer here working for him, and I think he's going to be named in some of these proceedings, these documents about because I just flipped over here to this card, which would an indication of indictments and documents and court filings. So this is looking more and more like Pence to me. I do not know if he's going to actually end up there. If he does, it doesn't, like a week? I don't know. So let's see. I did ask for next. So So if Pence gets in there for a short time, who's after that? Speaker of the House, who is, new beginning. It's going to come out pretty quickly where Pence's involvement has been, and I think he's going to look at it, his situation at that time, and he is going to really want to save face. That's what I get. So he might not even be there. He might not be the next president of the United States. So who is going to be the next president of the United States? I think I'm looking at the Ten of Cups, and I'm thinking Pence might actually get in there for a little bit, but then have to walk away soon. He really likes security. He's a very conservative person, and he doesn't want to lose face with the people who support him in the evangelical realm of the universe. And then there's the Two of Wands, where people are looking at his other dealings, how he benefited potentially from the campaign violations involving Russian money and Russian agents. I think Pence might actually get in there and not stay very long. And I think his connection to nefarious activities, I think it's going to come out that he knew. There's going to be something that he said. He might even be able to admit to some of it. But in the end, I really see him, he works with a dual personality of being this Christian politician. I heard him talk one time and say, like, delineate what his identities were. And he said of all those things that he was a Christian first and foremost. And I think that is going to be the identity that he chooses there at the end, when he has to bail on his chance at being president, because he's going to want to save face, and he is going to be put in a real insecure position where he doesn't want to be questioned. It was part of his thing. He's going to say something like, because of the appearance of wrongdoing, he's going to leave because he doesn't want to admit to wrongdoing. He wants to maintain his identity and save face. I think he might get in there for a little bit, but yeah, the force that's coming up and the way the earth is speaking is that climate change has to become one of the most important issues, and he is just not there because his mind is all on heaven, and heaven's great, but we really need to focus down here a little bit and authentically get into this Magician card and its best meaning, which is as above, so below. So we need to use all of our best brain powers to solve the problems here on Earth, and they are many. And Mike Pence's energy just isn't there, and that's where we're all heading. So he would be ultimately an inappropriate voice for our time, and we will be seeing someone else. And I suppose I'll do another reading to find out who comes after Pence, or the possibility of Pence, because this reading isn't being really too clear about that. Okay, well, thank you so much for sharing this time with me and watching, and I hope that was helpful to you. If there's anything you'd like to hear about, let me know. I love the comments. It's great if you can subscribe and like, and I do private readings, and you can reach me in the description below at my email address. Thanks so much for watching.